You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another podcast of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. Glad you can be here. Glad you are joining me today on this big trade that just happened yesterday. But I want to thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page, get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. All right, so yesterday we had one of the biggest NBA trades in recent history. We had I want to say it was a 3-team trade between Brooklyn, Houston, Indiana, Cleveland. So a 4-team trade. The main centerpiece of the trade was, of course, James Harden. He ends up being shipped out of Houston, something he's been trying to have done for quite a while now. He's been very disgruntled, not happy in Houston. But I don't know how this works really in his favor. I mean, look, the Nets, they're going to win a lot of games. But first, let's go over, some of the things that transpired. So the Brooklyn Nets, they get James Harden in a 4-team trade between the Nets, Rockets, Cavs, and the Indiana Pacers. Now, the Rockets will receive Victor Oladipo, Dante Exum, and 3 unprotected Brooklyn Nets first-round picks from 2022, 2024, 2026, and then 4 unprotected Nets pick swaps in 2021, 2023, 2025, and 2027, and a 2022 Milwaukee Bucks first-round pick via the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the Cavaliers, they added Jared Allen and Taurean Prince from the trade, while the Indiana Pacers add Chris LeVert and a second-round pick from the trade. But we all know, like I recently just stated, the major piece of the trade here is James Harden, who will now be teaming up with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to create one of the fiercest scoring trios in the NBA. Now, this is how the Nets roster is going to look once Kyrie Irving decides he wants to come back and play basketball. The starting lineup should go in the backcourt, you'll have Kyrie Irving and James Harden. In the front court, you'll have Jeff Green, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Jordan. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't really like the makeup of the Brooklyn Nets roster. I know some people are saying, you have Joe Harris coming off the bench. He's a guy that can score a little bit. Other than that, I really don't like what I see. You have Tyler Johnson. I'm not a big Tyler Johnson fan, really. I think getting rid of Jared Allen was a mistake. I like Jared Allen, and he's young. I think Jared Allen is only 22 years old. The Brooklyn Nets have pretty much put themselves in a win now. You got to win this season. If you're the Brooklyn Nets, you have to win now. But I don't really like the makeup of this team. Now, I'll be honest with you. If I'm Brooklyn, what I would do is I would look to move Kyrie Irving. The reason is because I don't think you're going to have one of the guys sacrifice their game for the betterment of the team. Now, Kevin Durant has shown that he can play with anybody. He's played with Westbrook and Harden in OKC. He's played with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson out in Golden State. So, KD has played with the stars. I'm not worried about his game. The game I'm worried about is Harden and Kyrie. Kyrie is very ball dominant. His game really is scoring the basketball. That's Kyrie's game. Same with James Harden. James Harden is very ball dominant. You don't expect much defense out of those guys. Their game is scoring the basketball. But I don't really see it meshing well with those three. Look at what the big three did in Miami with LeBron James, D Wade, Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh sacrificed his game for the betterment of the team. Chris Bosh could have easily been somewhere else, putting up 22 and 10 a night, but he took a back seat and, like I said, for the betterment of the team. I don't really see that happening with this three in Brooklyn. And I'm not even going to say KD. KD is one of the best. Will go down as one of the best players in NBA history. He will go down as one of the best scorers in NBA history. So I can't take the ball out of KD's hand. So who do I take the ball out of? It's either Kyrie or it's going to be James Harden. And you know how it goes when Kyrie doesn't get his way. Look at Kyrie now. Kyrie nowhere to be found. We don't know where he is. So I just don't see it really working if Kyrie is in the fold. If I am the Brooklyn Nets, I would actually look to move Kyrie Irving. People might think it is wrong, but look, you just gave away a lot. If you're the Brooklyn Nets, you can gain a lot back. There'll be some. Look, I know Kyrie is at this point right now, he's kind of a head case, but there will be some team that will bring him in because Kyrie is blockbuster. It is what it is. So, if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, that's what I'm doing. Right now, the Brooklyn Nets have placed themselves in win now mode, and they're the best team in the East right now. If you add, they're struggling right now. I believe they just got back to 500. I think they dropped the game under 500. I could be wrong. I don't watch much Nets basketball. I have seen them play twice this year with Kyrie playing, but right now, look, all we can do is wait and see. I don't have a lot of faith in that roster. They're in win now mode. Pretty much win this season. If they don't win this season, I look at it as a failed mission. I don't see them, going unless they move Kyrie. They got to move Kyrie, in my opinion, and they can get a lot back after giving up a lot. I think giving up Jared Allen was a wrong move for them, but we'll see how it goes. Hey, look, that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page and get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis. And remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.